Ignite to impact.
Want to know a surefire way to succeed in life? Tap into your own strengths. Hi, I'm Dr. Geneva, and welcome to Ignite to Impact. Today's conversation is all about how you can find your strengths and how finding your strengths can lead you to be successful in life. Now, you've probably heard the term personal strengths. You even know probably that you have them, but perhaps you aren't quite sure what they are or how to use them. Being able to tap into your own inner power, your strengths, and use them provides you with self-confidence and boost your happiness and resilience in handling difficult situations. Now, have you ever felt like you just don't have what it takes to get to where you want to be? Might it be because perhaps you're not relying on your strengths? So, hey, you can start reaping the benefits of your personal strengths now. And I'm going to give you 4 ways on how to do just that. Number 1, the past. What do I mean? Well, it isn't generally healthy to dwell in the past. And however, you may need to cast your mind back to the greatest moments in your life when you were successful, to the times when you were on top of everything and in control and you felt complete and hey, your destiny was in your hands. You need a reminder of how you harnessed your strengths in the past, especially when you don't feel like it in the present. So, I'm not talking about focusing on the negative situations in your past and dwelling on that. No, I'm talking about think about it, but remember most what you did during those times that were difficult, that were tough. You can draw motivation from how you succeeded, the strengths that you have, and use them now to remind you of what you're capable of. Number 2, stop the comparisons. Okay, now, there are few things in life more destructive to self-confidence than constantly comparing yourself to others. So stop it. How can you call yourself tough when someone else is even tougher, or so you say to yourself? Those comparisons don't work. And when we scroll through what's on social media and we see people who are doing this or that, and we compare what we're doing, our situations, to what they're doing, it doesn't work. And I'll ask you again, how can you call yourself tough and succeeding when you're thinking that everybody else is doing better? Why should you be happy when there are others unhappier than you? Okay. Again, all of this goes into comparison, the comparison game, and you don't want to do it. Even when you ask yourself, what makes you worthy of success when there are people just as good, if not better, as you? These kinds of comparisons only drain your energy and move your focus from your strengths. When you start comparing yourself to other people, you begin to feel insecure and focus on your weakness. Again, you ask yourself, so think about it. So when you ask yourself, what makes you worthy of success when there are other people who are better, just as good as you? Why focus on that? Because what it does is you're focusing on other people and you're amplifying what you believe, though it's not true, I'm telling you, but what you believe are your weaknesses. And you need to move away from that, because every time you compare yourself to someone else, the feelings of insecurity are going to creep in. They will. Forget the things that you're not good at and put your focus on the things you are good at and are getting better at, and focus on getting better at. It doesn't matter if someone on your job handled a particular situation better than you did, or if someone you know, when you made a comment in a meeting, kind of raised their eyebrows or looked at you. It doesn't matter. There are always going to be people who are going to do that, and areas where you don't know as much as someone else, or skills you haven't mastered. That's always going to be the case. But guess what? It really means that there are plenty of strengths that you have that others don't. So keep your focus on those. Conduct what I call a TSA. That's inventory your talents, skills, and accomplishments. Just grab yourself a piece of paper, 3 sheets, 3 pieces of paper. And on the first one, write at the top, talents. The second one, skills. And on the third piece of paper, write accomplishments. And just take some time and fill out each one of those pieces of paper. Those are your TSA, your talent, skills, and accomplishments. And focus on those. And you know what happens when you review them, when you think about them, when you read them, when you say them out loud? It's going to make you feel better too. Okay. So these are the things that help you tap into your strengths and succeed in life. The third way to jump on into your strengths and get your strengths on is to be positive. Now, everyone has strengths, or things that they think about, or traits or abilities that they probably like to get rid of or change, whether it's a lack of patience or a tendency to procrastinate or avoid or put things off. Well, don't focus on aspects of that of your character. Rather, focus on the positive traits that you possess. Go back to those sheets that you put together on your talent, skills, and accomplishments. Focus on, be positive. Why not? There's enough going on in this world. There's enough uncertainty that happens almost every day. Excuse me. That was a phone call ring, and I thought I had turned my stuff off because I wanted to focus all on this conversation. But focus on those traits where your strength lies, and use that to your advantage. Maybe people turn to you in times of trouble because you have a great attitude, or you're helpful. Lean into that. Find those strengths and be positive about that. Now, when you feel at a low point, which we all do all the time, that's life. Remind yourself of the strengths you have and how you use them on a daily basis. If you find yourself, questioning or, self-wondering about things often, make a note of every time you use your strengths so you can reflect on the successes you've experienced. So, if you think you spend too much time worrying about the negatives, or you can't really find your positives, take some time to really sit down and think about what your positives are and jot them down. It can be like 3 things, 3 strengths. That's all. Put them on a piece of paper and then save that piece of paper. And when you're at your low point and just can't think of, woe is me, everything ain't working, pull out that piece of paper, and then that will remind you of these strengths that you have, because you do. you do have strengths. And the fourth way to tap into your strengths so that you'll succeed in life is to be strong. Mhm. Do you know what happens when you offer excuses for yourself? You make them. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you say that you're not good at something or you're not going to do something until something happens, those tend to be oftentimes just excuses. You make them. And when there's an out, you find yourself taking that out every time. You don't want to live life like that, not as a victim and make excuses for your shortcomings. Why would you do that when you can harness your strengths? Even if you can only identify two of them, you can harness those, rope them on in and use them on a daily basis. Let's say, for example, one of the strengths that you know that you have is that you're very empathetic, you're kind. Well, you can be kind every day, can't you? So you take that strength of being, you connect with others. And then think about, empathy means that, you're kind often, that you connect with people, that you can step into somebody else's shoes and kind of get a sense of they're feeling, what they're feeling. And if you do that, then can't you, in fact, do that every single day? Yes, you can. And that's the way that you can tap into that strengths and be strong. And so harness your strengths and use them on a daily basis. Don't opt out. Don't give yourself an excuse. Your only option is to succeed. And to do that, use your strengths. See you next time.